my name is Nicole Fiore, and I roller skate. You know the old school roller skates, 2 in front, 2 in back? Yeah, those ones. I'm gonna be teaching you how to roll and entertaining you along the way. Come roll with me. Hello, today we are going to break down backward crosses while skating backward. Shout out to Gwyneth Skates for pointing this one out to me. Thank you, P.S. you're doing amazing. Today's breakdown is actually a little more difficult than I originally thought. First things first, I do think it is best to know how to do a cross behind before you start this. Even though this isn't a full cross behind, you don't need to anyway. You don't need to pick up the foot and cross it. You can kind of roll it. I'll show you in a moment. But I do think it's smarter to know how to do that. Something that I really do believe is when you are skating backward, it is easier to cross in front. So kind of like the strut walk thing, but I think when you're traveling backward, it is easier to cross in front like this. When you are traveling forward, I do think it's easier to cross behind like that. So when you do it opposite, when you're going backward and you're crossing behind, it's a little sketchy sometimes. So there's this thing that people have been doing where they're crossing like this, skating backward. So that's kind of what I'm gonna break down. As with everything, this is my interpretation of it. Watching the videos that I've seen on TikTok and Instagram of people doing this, this is how I would interpret it, and this is how I would instruct myself to do it. So you're actually going to be rolling the front wheels back like this. So I think this is a good starting point. And kind of make yourself do it in, I always say like a parenthesis, like this. So just the toe wheels down on the ground, move it like this. You don't need to go super far away from the skate. You could do it kind of close. Just get that motion down. And if you notice, my hands kind of swing like I'm walking. So when my foot is in back, my hand is in front. So my left foot's in back, my left hand's in front, and then I switch it. This, we'll see if this comes into play when we're actually rolling with it. I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna kind of do this real time with you. So do that on both feet because we wanna use both feet when we're doing this. The leg that you're standing on, especially because you're going backward, needs to be a little soft, a little bent. So get used to that, just kind of a soft bend, and get used to rolling the front wheels back and forth. A good reminder, if you have toe stops in, skating backward is not as scary as it may seem because you can always put that toe stop down really quickly. So if you hit something, say you're doing this and you're mid-roll back, just put that toe stop down. This kind of goes into play with the tutorial from a few weeks ago that was like backward cruising, because I think it's best to do this on an edge. So if you're doing outside edges like this, kind of get used to that. So I know I'm not working with a lot of space, but I find it's easier to break it down in here and then take it outside and try it. So try to do outside edges and put the toe wheel down of the opposite foot. So if I'm on my right skate, I'm on a right outer back edge, my left toe wheels are down and kind of doing that move, but don't cross it yet. So just get used to that. This is like the backward cruising and then almost the beginning of dips, kinda. So there's a lot going into this that can then be used in different moves. So kind of get that just comfortable. You can help it by pulling this shoulder and hit back. Let's try this way. Boom, boom, boom. Like I said, with rolling the foot, soft knee that you're standing on. And some people, especially on like the strut walk, a lot of people, I shouldn't say some, a lot of people are asking me how to get power from it. Kind of in this one, you're going to almost do like a scissor with the foot that's going out. So kind of like a bubble, how you bend, and that's how you get the power. This is kind of the same thing. This motion of this doing like a half scissor can get you power. After that motion is completed, you're gonna transfer your weight onto that skate. So if we just like simplify it and do it standing still, if I'm standing on my right skate, that's a little bent, I'm gonna roll my left toe wheels back until it's basically in line. And then see how my foot doesn't wanna stay on that outside edge, so you may even it out and then transfer the weight And then pick up the heel wheels, soften the left knee, pick up the right heel wheels, do the same motion, switch. Too close to my wall. Here, transfer, here, transfer. So this, if you do it like how I've seen it on the internet, it's not even like a full cross. We can do it a full cross. You can either pick it up and cross. That's a little riskier. I do have a tutorial on cross behinds though, but this is a little more difficult if you're skating backward. It is possible. But again, I think that's really important to know how to do your cross behinds, be confident in your cross behinds, and be confident in your backward skating abilities before you really dive into that one. This is a little more doable if you think of it being in line instead of across. So when you transfer, be here. Of course, you don't want to have your skates too close together, especially if you have a toe stop in, because you may trip yourself. So make sure you have your knees bent enough to be a little bit away from each other. But you would transfer the weight when it's basically in line. And the most difficult part about this, I think, is if you go from an outside edge to an outside edge, that's a little difficult. So I would say when you do transfer the weight, even your weight out, so you're not exactly on an outside edge, you're kind of on a flat. So you would go outside edge as you roll it back, even it out if you want to help with your shoulders, you can even out your shoulders, transfer that weight, and then lean into the skating leg. Even it out, lean into the skating leg, even it out. And you'll notice people on the internet doing it basically with their hips. So their hips are pulling back as they're doing it. So it goes back, even out, transfer, back, even out, transfer. So let's do this a few times because I myself am curious how this is going to work. Yeah, it gets a nice flow if you think of it less of crosses and more of kind of like that backward cruising. You're just transferring your weight in line. Okay, let me point out real quick, like anything, you do not want to look down at the ground. This one is a little difficult to not because I'm really concentrating and I feel like I need to glance down, but there's literally nothing to look at down there. If you're gonna hit anything, it's back there. So if anything, you would want to probably look over your shoulder, transfer, look over your shoulder, transfer. Although for me, that makes me a little dizzy. So I try my best to like survey the area first, pick up any rocks if I see them, and then hope that I will make it. So if you want to help yourself, if you're having a hard time turning that hip or turning the shoulders, the arms can help, kind of like doing a backstroke a little bit. But if you just like move your arm this way, cross, move your arm this way, cross. But the key thing is that your front wheels are rolling. I have pretty big toe stops in. Mine aren't low enough that I would hit it here, but you may hit it and slow yourself down. But that could also be a good practicing tool if you're not super confident in rolling just the front wheels back. You could, I guess, move the entire skate, but that's missing the look of this move, I think. There's something about lifting the back wheels that gives this motion that can't be replicated. So it's kind of like crazy legs in that way. Like your front wheels are the ones that are rolling as you do this, or with this move, it's the front wheels are down, the heel wheels are up. There's just something about it, and it's coming up in so many moves. So that is something that you should probably practice. It's something we all need to practice. All of the popular like skating moves right now on the internet all have that in common. They're all like, they have the heel wheels lifted and they're on the toe wheels. That's so interesting. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna take my phone and I'm gonna record myself doing this outside. We'll see how it goes. Wow, it is hot out here. Okay, So this totally works. This is kind of downhill too, so I get speed. This is actually quite fun. Going uphill, not recommended. Okay, it works. All right, thank you so much for watching this. Please let me know what else you would like to learn. If you're seeing random things on the internet, please send them my way. I hope you can practice this and make it your own. Bye. Well, wasn't that educational? Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel while you're at it. You know, if you want to learn how to be cool and not fall down so much. I didn't bring my tripod out here. That was silly. Whoa.